Ireland has been tipped to follow the UK's lead and quit the European Union by a former Irish diplomat who called for a long hard look at whether the country's membership of the bloc was worth it. Ray Bassett pulls no punches in his new book, Ireland and the EU post-Brexit, suggesting the benefits bestowed on Dublin by Brussels are drying up, with difficult choices on the horizon. With Ireland now a net contributor to the EU, Mr. Bassett, former ambassador to Canada, Jamaica and the Bahamas, has consistently argued his country should side with the so-called Frugal Four of the Netherlands, Austria, Denmark and Sweden when it comes to budgetary considerations. In his book, he writes, "We need a long hard look at our EU membership and pose the question, is it worth the price?" The billionaire businessman, George Soros, an ardent Europhile, has accepted the inevitable and predicted that unless the EU reforms it will perish. The pipe dreams of Emmanuel Macron and his proposals for even a more centralized EU are vanishing against the cold reality of the desire for the citizenry of EU member states for national sovereignty. The disastrous showing of the establishment centre-right and centre-left parties in the 2019 European Parliament elections demonstrated this in a very direct way. With specific reference to his own country, he adds, "Those in Ireland and elsewhere who unthinkingly supposed treaty after treaty, the Single European Act, Amsterdam, Nice, Maastricht, Lisbon etc., without having the faintest idea what were in them, bear a very heavy responsibility for the sorry state Europe is in at present. They treated the average citizen with contempt and broke the connection between the ordinary citizen and the state. They must accept their responsibility for Brexit and future departures from the EU and the Eurozone." Ireland, now led by Fianna Fáil leader Michael Martin, needed a real debate on its future direction, Mr. Bassett argues, after writing his book while Leo Varadkar, another committed Europhile, and leader of Fine Gael, was the country's Taoiseach. He writes, "Too many of our leaders, whether political, media or in big business, have a vested interest in the status quo. They have grown too close to Brussels.